Hi everyone! This is a quick video to show you how to assemble the flower garden box card that I shared. If you're watching this video in Design Space, then you already found my project. If you found this video on YouTube, check the description right under this video. You'll find a link to where you can get my project. This is the box card that we're going to assemble today. I think it's super cute. I put a happy birthday tag on it, but you can use it for lots of occasions. It would be a nice thank you card or thinking of you. It folds flat and it fits perfectly in this envelope that I added to my Design Space profile today. So if you need an envelope, you can go ahead and use this one. Super simple to put together. It fits really well. You just want to be aware of the size of the envelope when you attach your flowers. You don't want to go over. I just grabbed a ruler and checked what my limits were. The envelope is 5.2 inches high and 7.2 inches wide. So the width is perfect. Your embellishments won't affect it, but they will affect the height. So you want to be careful with that. You'll also notice that with these box cards with this shape, if you fold to one side, it doesn't go flat. I don't know why it does that, but mine folds flat to the left. So you just want to check which side works for you, the left or the right, to fold it flat. I don't know why it does that, but this shape does that. I've seen it on other box cards also. So I've put together all the flowers. Each one is 4 layers. So I decided to put them together so you don't have to wait for all that through the video. I've done these little button cuts. I don't think you can see them. They're very tiny, but I did those for the center. If you like, you can replace those with real buttons or replace them with gems, whatever you prefer for your card. But I put them together in advance. There's 8 flowers and there's 2 extra leaves that I used for filler just to make the flower sections a little bulkier. So we'll start putting it together. We're doing the inside first. So I'm just going to fold my score lines. Just make sure they line up at the bottom of the card. If they don't line up, your card will be wobbly, so you want to make sure you line them up when you fold your score. And we'll check this side too. Make sure it's nice and straight. That looks good. We'll just fold our score down. I like to use a bone folder to get really nice clean lines when I fold my cardstock. So the back of the inside is this blue panel. So we'll just get that done. Okay. A little glue. We'll just insert this. Try and get it in evenly. There we go. And I've done these extra cuts for the sides of the inside. They are optional. You're not going to see them, and they are partially covered with the inserts. But I find that they give extra strength to the sides of the card, so I prefer to use them. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And you don't have to do them in pattern paper. I was just cutting, so I cut all from the same sheet of paper for the inside and outside. Put a little too much adhesive on that. That's okay. So we'll just add these. I always get adhesive all over my hands. this one ready. There we go. And that's the inside done. So that will be on the inside. As I mentioned, you won't see it, so it is optional. And we'll flip it over and we're going to do the outside of the card. For the outside back of the card, I did this print and cut where I left space on the white for messaging, and I added a little flower just to make it decorative. So we'll add that to the center. It's been very warm here this week, and I think the heat is making my adhesive runny. The Tombow isn't usually this runny, but it seems to be coming out very fast. Okay, so that's the back. We'll see it like this on the back of the card. I don't think I showed you how it looks. That's the back of the card. I think it's cute like that. And then we have our decorative sides. These are visible, so you want to use the extra layers on the sides for sure. Regardless of what color you choose to use, whether it's pattern or a solid color, you want to put them on the outside. Get that on straight. That looks good. And we'll do the other side. There we go. And that's the main part of the card done. So it's going to sit like this. Okay, so next we're going to take the fence for the front. You're going to fold the two score lines in. After we decorate it, we're going to attach it to make the box. So you'll fold those in. We have a bar to go across the fence posts. You want to center that, so we'll just put a little dab of adhesive on the posts, even right across, so we get it on straight. And we'll center it on here. I need to pull it a little bit to the right. There we go. That's centered better. That's the fence part. And then we're going to take our white layer that goes on here and our decorative layer. I'm using again the green plaid, or green checkered I should say, on the front. So we'll just put this on here. Adding these layers to the front gives strength to it, so it stands up better. That's done. I'm using 80-pound cardstock, but I find it still quite flexible, so adding the extra layers makes it a sturdier card, especially if you're going to be folding it flat, opening, folding, opening. That makes it stronger. So there's our fence for the front. So all we're going to do now is add the folds to the front of the card. So we'll start with one side. There we go. Actually, you can lay this flat to do it. It will be easier. Just make sure you align it with the score line and even across the bottom. Let me get this up here. There. So it's flush with my score line and even across the bottom. You want to watch that. Again, so the card will stand straight when you stand it up. And this one should fit perfectly here. Okay, so we'll add some adhesive here. And line this up. There we go. And I'm using liquid adhesive, so this needs to dry. And there's the main part of the box card. So now you're going to take this long strip, and you have 4 score lines. So you have one, these are 4.9 inches wide, so you're going to fold all 4 score lines. There we go. And we have another one here. We have another one here. A little hard to see in the light today. There it is. Sorry about that. The lighting is quite dull today. It's cloudy outside and I don't want to turn on overhead lights because they cast too much shadow. See where this one is. There's that one. And then a last one. There we go. Sorry about that, a little hard to see. So then what you're doing is forming a rectangle. So now you're going to put adhesive on this end. Wow, that came out fast. And form your rectangle. Okay, we're going to give this a second to dry because we're going to be installing it inside the box card. So we want to give it a second to dry before we install it. Okay, that should be good. So you want to install this inside. You can put it right down at the bottom or part way up, whatever you prefer. I installed mine a little bit up from the bottom so that I would get better height on the flowers. Let's see if I can show you, if you can see this. There you go. So I'm going to install this one a little up from the bottom, maybe 1/2 inch from the bottom. So let's put adhesive on one end. And we'll install that. You can see that. It's about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Could put it lower, I guess. But regardless of where it is, it's going to be covered in flowers, so it's not going to be noticeable. And then let's add some adhesive to this end. There we go. And we'll just install it evenly with the other side. So we have our square. And see how it rounds out? They always seem to do that when you add inserts to a box card. But I found that if you just push it down flat, and as I mentioned, this one flattens to the left. I know when you make it, maybe it'll flatten to the right, depending which side of your main card you use. But it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that it flattens. So there. It's still a little rounded, but not too bad. And I did cut it a bit narrower than the card, but I find the inserts always tend to do that. There. So we have our insert, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you should be able to see it like that. There, we have our insert. So when I add my flowers, I'm going to add some to the back, to the inside of the rectangle, and to the outside of the rectangle. I do it in 3 layers. So now I'm going to add my little gardener, my little girl. I put her on the front, so just her smile about even with the top of the fence posts. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the fence posts. I don't want to put it on this printout because I might put it in the wrong place. But if I put some adhesive on the fence posts, it's a little hard to show you, on the inside of the fence post, a little there and a little there, those 2 last posts. Then I can place the little girl where I want it and adhere it to the posts. So she's right in the front, adhered to the post. How that goes. And my happy birthday tag I'll put on at the end. But of course that tag is optional if you're using this as a birthday card or a thank you card, whatever you're using it for. You may want to change the tag. So what I did in the back of the card is I used a red, then a yellow, then a red. The long ones have these dots on the leaves. The shorter ones don't have those dots. The stems are plain. So I used those 3 right on the back of the card, and I added an extra leaf just for bulk, just to make it a little fuller. So with your card standing up is the best way to do it, so you can judge that you're not going too low and having it pop out the bottom. So I raised it up a little above the edge of the card. The next one I did higher. And then this one again above the edge of the card. But I did the yellow one first so the red ones would be forward. And I actually put a puff square or a puff dot behind the reds so that they would be higher. So I just put a little bit of adhesive here on the bottom of the flower, not right across the flower. And I put it on like this. There we go. Because I've already done one, I'm not measuring the height that I'm putting it at. I know what height I can put it at to fit the envelope. Just grab some puff dots. I'll turn this red one over. And where am I going to put the dots? You just want to check on the bottom of the flowers. So I'm going to use, where's my tools? I'm just going to grab 2 of these. Put them on the bottom of the flower. And just take the covers off. I have adhesive on my fingers, so I'm struggling to get these out of the way. There we go. And we'll just add the red with the puff dots. It'll stand out a bit from the back. That's cute, if you can see that. It just pops it out a little bit from the back and gives more texture. So we'll do the same on this red one. Just add 2 dots. Oh, 3 came off, so we'll use them. And we'll just peel the covers. There we go. And we'll add this one. Go, you can see the 3 flowers. And I'm going to add this leaf in the center just to give it a little more texture, so it's a little fuller. And you can curl it if you want to, or just add it as is. Just add a little bit of adhesive to that. And we'll add the extra leaf. There you go. You can see how that looks. Okay, so we just continue like that. On the inside of the insert, I added 1 large one and a yellow background and a pink background. And I added that to the inside of this insert. And then I added again an extra leaf to give it a little more texture. And then on the outside, I added, no, I'm sorry, I didn't add the leaf in the middle. I kept the leaf for the outside of the insert where I added 2 flowers and the leaf and the extra leaf. So that's it. That's all there is to assembling it. Then you decide what tag you're using. If you're using the happy birthday or another one, you could put puff dots on the fence posts again to hold up your tag so it's more prominent, or you can use adhesive. Whichever you decide to do is great. So I hope you're going to make this card. Please post pictures in my Facebook group. If you do, I would love to see how it turns out. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful to you, and thank you for watching.